What's up, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. We are here with another seasonal championship, this time City Focus. We have to use a car made in the 2010s from Japan in the B class, and this is the one we will use, the Nissan 370Z or Z. From 2010, tuning share code is in the description as always. We are jumping right into it. I would very much assume this is another 60-point championship, but we should maybe wait until we actually have them before we celebrate us for a day. There we go. Decent start. The car is relatively light. The MX-5 would be a cool option as well. I didn't want to use the Type R again because we use that so often. Same goes for the WRX. We use that so often. So I wanted to use something a little bit different. We haven't used this car in forever, if at all. I don't know. So here we are using it now. And it's so nimble, it's so light, and it works so well around the corners that it shouldn't be too big of an issue to win this one. Drafting here, getting through the corner clean and fast. And now we will take the lead. Pushing him a little bit off the line, but not really by our own doing. He was making room himself because we were poking in. Hard braking into this one of the few corners where you really need to brake hard because you come with a lot of speed and you can't go through with a lot of speed. Here again, yeah, we have corners. Just go for throttle here as well, even though the racing line tells you otherwise. And half the race is done already, and this should be a good 20 points for us. Now we have to manage the lead, which of course requires a different style of driving. Of course you can always just do your thing and drive as you drive. But sometimes when you need to overtake, you might brake a little bit later, you might take that risk. You might just try to get the nose in even if you both go wide. And you don't need to do it right now, you can just drive regularly. Make sure you don't make any mistakes. If in doubt, brake a little bit earlier, you know, just manage the lead. We're turning in too late there. Compromised our line a bit. That's what happens when you lose focus a little bit. And that's the most important thing, do not lose focus. Even when you're leading by quite a bit. Because once you lose focus, you start making mistakes, and mistakes is exactly what we need to avoid. Even though a lead like this, you can afford making minor mistakes. Just nothing bad or outrageous. And win. So, that gets a like. Alright, on to the next one. That is a circuit race. Bigger fan of sprints than circuits, but it's okay, it's at least a fun car. This car in the A class is even more fun. Or the modern 370Z, the Nismo version in the A class. A800 and go. It's a lot of fun. IRL this car was a lot of fun as well. Drove it once. Definitely a recommendable car if you just want to drive around, have some fun. On a budget, of course. If you have unlimited budget, you don't go for this, but if you say, yeah, you have some money available, but not the world, then definitely a cool car. Can definitely compete with other things in the price range. So that was a pretty good triple pass here, right off the bat. Now another pass here, and then we will go through here. Drive into the gap. Always make sure you spot the gaps and then position your car in them. Now acceleration view, we came out much stronger. I actually left room. I could have forced a collision there, and maybe that could have kept us the lead, but I didn't want it. Because collisions make it unpredictable, and I didn't want anything unpredictable. We are faster, so there is no need to force it that way. Or to try and force it. It was also a first lap, so it's not like you have to force a decision right there on the spot. As you can see, we are now quite a bit ahead. We just had to let him get the corner ahead of us and then position ourselves to then simply drive past him without the risk of a collision going wrong. Because they can go wrong, collisions can go wrong, and that's why you try to avoid them. Even though that collision probably would have just pushed us a little bit wide. So worst case, a third car slips through. But even that would probably not have ruined our race, but you know. If it's the last lap, you still want to do that when you're faster like that, because you don't really want to ruin the race. And in the last lap, just overtaking that guy in the next corner, yeah, that works. If another guy slips through because the collision goes a little bit wrong, then that maybe doesn't work. So it's just the thoughts that come to mind when you make a decision like that. Of course, it's what's going on in the back of your head, and you don't go through all of these thoughts and think, okay, judging by all of these things, the right move would be this. You know, you make a decision in the moment based on these thoughts in the background because you had them before. If you just start thinking about such a situation in the moment, then you might not be able to make the decision. Or you might make the decision late. Second or third one? I think second. So you kind of need to think about these things before they happen. So that you know, okay, in a situation like this, I preferably would like to do that. And then you just have a set of reactions for different situations. You're not always going to follow that set of reactions, because sometimes in the moment you might make a different decision. Always based on race situation. What is it that you observe? How do you think the situation turns out if you do this or that? And you always have the option to deviate from it and say, okay, I want to react differently to this right now because of whatever reason it might be. One of the possible ways that you can react to this is take the collision and say, okay, it slows him down, I want to keep the lead because it's a tight track. So it also depends on the track, like maybe on a track like this you want to stay in track position. You say I don't want to give up the position again because it's an annoying track to overtake on. So I take the collision, hope it slows down my opponent. I was hoping we can do some riding of the opponent. Didn't work, so collision. But yeah, that's just based on the track. Here as well, we park our car on the inside. It could have resulted in a collision. I don't know. Here we park ourselves on the inside, brake. Same time, that sends him in wide, if anything happens. Because we are in the inside position. Not great. There we go. It's a pretty cool right-left combination. Or was it left-right? I already forgot. So 1.5 laps remaining. That should be okay. Oh, that's quite the drift there. Another good drift. Drifting in the city, eh? Now hard braking into this one. Here as well, right, left. Yeah, it's a right, left, and it's a very neat chicane. Very wide. You can't even really call it a chicane, it's more like two corners following each other. But with so much space between them. That wasn't great. A little late on the brakes. Minor drift initiated, but it's just managing the lead now. This is, like I already mentioned in so many other championship videos, this is really where the concentration is dipping. Because you just don't need to focus as much anymore. Stay tight. And to the right, and that finishes the championship. So that's very good. There we go. That finishes the championship. Great. So that gets us 60 points. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, farewell.